Have you ever wondered what really happens inside your body when you stop eating for 16 hours? Not the myths, not the crash diets, but the raw biology that decides whether you age faster or heal younger. I've seen too many patients who believe their fatigue, their brain fog, and that stubborn belly are just signs of getting older. They're not. They're signs of a body that's been working non-stop without rest. Every meal, every late-night snack, every healthy smoothie keeps your digestive system running like a factory that never shuts down until the machinery begins to fail. That's why I began studying the science of intermittent fasting not as a trend, but as a medical reset button hidden in plain sight. Because when you go 16 hours without food, your body doesn't weaken, it wakes up. It switches from storing to repairing from inflamed, to calm, from tired to sharp. In the next few minutes, I'll take you through the exact timeline of what unfolds inside you at 30 days, 90 days, and 1 full year. What you're about to learn could change the way you age, and maybe even how long you live. The first 30 days are always the hardest, because that's when the body starts arguing with everything you thought you knew about hunger. In the beginning, patients tell me they feel their stomach growl and panic. "Doctor, my body's starving." But it's not starvation, it's a signal. What they're feeling is the hormone ghrelin, a messenger that rings the dinner bell even when you're not truly low on fuel. Studies from the National Institute of Health show ghrelin rises in short pulses around the hours you usually eat, not because you need food, but because you expect it. Within 2 to 3 weeks of fasting 16 hours, those pulses retrain themselves. Hunger stops controlling you. You start controlling it. I remember comparing ghrelin to a noisy neighbour who always knocks at 6 a.m. The first few mornings it's annoying. After a while, they move away. That's what happens inside you. When insulin begins to drop around the 14th hour of fasting, your body quietly flips a switch from storing to releasing energy. It starts pulling fat, especially visceral fat, the deep belly kind that wraps around the liver and heart. The Journal of Clinical Endocrinology reports that reducing insulin for just a few hours a day can lower visceral fat by up to 20% within the first month. That change isn't just cosmetic. Visceral fat suffocates your organs, increases inflammation, and blunts metabolism. When it melts, blood pressure softens, triglycerides fall, and your liver finally exhales. I've watched patients lose 6, sometimes 8 pounds, not from muscle but from the toxic padding that was squeezing their organs. They feel lighter because their organs are literally breathing again. Then comes the moment. Almost everyone misses the digestive pause. The human gut is like an overworked employee named Sandra. She clocks in at 7 a.m. and you keep her overtime until midnight. No weekends, no rest. Eventually she breaks. Acid reflux bloating and constipation are just her way of saying I quit. The first month of fasting gives Sandra her vacation. When she finally clocks out for 16 hours, her inflammation drops, her microbiome balances, and she comes back stronger. Harvard's Department of Nutrition calls this energy diversion blood flow. Moves from the intestines to the brain. That's why by week 3 people say they feel unusually clear and focused. They're not imagining it. They've simply stopped wasting half their energy digesting. I often tell them the fog lifting from your mind is proof your body has stopped firefighting and started rebuilding. It's not magic, it's mechanics. Every cell now has bandwidth to repair itself. Skin looks calmer, sleep deepens, and morning fatigue fades. Even blood sugar swings flatten out because insulin finally has space to breathe. But the most beautiful part of these 30 days isn't visible in a mirror. It's the discipline that quietly forms behind the scenes. Fasting teaches your body patience and your mind confidence. You realize you can sit with hunger, observe it, and watch it fade. That single skill often spills into every area of life, from stress to sleep to cravings. So yes, the first month tests your willpower, but it also reawakens your design. You're not breaking your body. You're teaching it to rest. And once it learns how to rest, it learns how to heal. But healing isn't the finish line, it's the ignition. Because somewhere between day 30 and day 90, your body doesn't just rest, it starts rebuilding itself from the inside out, cell by cell. By the time most people reach day 30, something remarkable happens. Hunger no longer feels like an emergency. That's the moment your body shifts from surviving to optimizing. The next 90 days are where the real transformation begins, not just in how you look, but in how your cells behave. I've seen lab results change faster in this stage than with most prescription drugs, simply because fasting taps into what biology was designed to do when food is scarce: repair, recycle, and rebuild. Inside every one of us lives a natural cleaning crew called autophagy. The word literally means self-eating, but it's not what it sounds like. It's how your body removes old damaged cells and replaces them with new efficient ones. Think of it as cleaning out your refrigerator, throwing away expired groceries before restocking it. When you fast for 16 hours a day, you're triggering that exact cleanup process. According to research from the University of Tokyo, sustained intermittent fasting can increase autophagy activity by more than 300% within 3 months. That's not theory, it's survival code built into your DNA. What people start noticing during this phase is deeper recovery. Joint pain that's lingered for years begins to fade. Inflammation markers C-reactive protein, interleukin-6 drop sharply. I had one patient who told me, "Doctor, I didn't realize how heavy my body felt until it stopped hurting." That's the body unburdened by inflammation. Your immune system stops attacking everything that moves, and for the first time in years it can focus on defense instead of damage control. Meanwhile, another shift takes place, a metabolic revolution. You're no longer running on sugar, you're running on fat and ketones. Your body becomes what I call dual fuel, effortlessly switching between burning carbs when you eat and fat when you don't. Scientists call this metabolic flexibility, and it's the holy grail of longevity research. When you achieve it, your energy no longer spikes and crashes. It flows steadily. You wake up clear work without slumps and sleep deeper because your hormones are no longer fighting each other. Around the same time, the most powerful hormone of all quietly rises, human growth hormone, HGH. In a 2019 study published in Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, researchers found that fasting for 16 hours daily for 90 days can increase HGH sensitivity by 4 to 5 times. That single shift protects muscle, accelerates fat loss, strengthens bones, and even improves skin elasticity. Many celebrities pay thousands for synthetic HGH injections, but your body makes it for free when you simply stop eating long enough to let it. I tell my patients this fasting doesn't rob your body, it reminds it how powerful it already is. Men often report more stable testosterone levels and better morning energy. Women past menopause notice fewer hot flashes, calmer moods, and improved sleep. These are not miracles. They're the results of hormones finally syncing up instead of competing. When insulin, cortisol, and growth hormone move in rhythm, the body stops storing fat and starts sculpting it away. Then there's the immune reset, chronic inflammation, and autoimmune flare-ups start calming down. Conditions like arthritis or thyroid imbalance become quieter, not cured, but manageable because fasting silences the overreaction. It gives the immune system time to reboot, like restarting a frozen computer. That's what I call the 90-day deep cleanse, not just of organs, but of chaos. I often tell people these 90 days are when you stop feeling like a patient and start feeling like a participant. The body that used to crave food for comfort now craves rest, water, and movement. You begin noticing you don't need caffeine to stay awake or sugar to lift your mood. Energy feels lighter, cleaner, and steadier. That's the beauty of this phase. You're not forcing change, you're flowing with it. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. The 90-day mark is not the peak, it's the threshold. Because while your body has been rebuilding its cells, something deeper has been preparing to change your entire biological identity. What comes next after a full year is not just improvement, it's reinvention. By the time someone completes a full year of fasting 16 hours a day, their reflection tells a different story. What began as a discipline now feels like second nature. The body has adapted, healed, and rebuilt itself layer by layer. But what truly changes after 365 days isn't just the shape in the mirror, it's the way the entire system operates. A year of consistency rewires metabolism, strengthens immunity, and literally remodels aging at the cellular level. At this stage, I often compare the human body to a city that's finally cleared its traffic jams. The roads, your arteries are open. The air, your blood is cleaner. Organs communicate again like neighborhoods, no longer cut off by congestion. After a year, the visceral fat surrounding the liver and pancreas, that toxic layer that once suffocated your organs, has dramatically decreased. In many cases, insulin sensitivity improves by over 40%. For some people, early-stage type 2 diabetes disappears entirely. The body finally responds to insulin the way it did decades earlier, allowing energy to flow smoothly instead of being trapped as fat. But the benefits go beyond blood sugar. Those cycles of autophagy you've repeated for months have now rebuilt your immune system. Old sluggish immune cells have been recycled, replaced by fresh alert ones. You get sick less often, recover faster, and notice that inflammation, a quiet thief of energy, has loosened its grip. This is what researchers at the University of Southern California describe as immune rejuvenation. Your body has literally shed its older, slower defenses for a younger army of cells. Inside the brain, another miracle unfolds. Levels of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, rise, steadily improving memory, focus, and mood. BDNF is like fertilizer for your neurons. It grows new connections and repairs old ones. That's why after a year people often describe feeling awake in a way they haven't in decades. They read more, create more, think faster. Fasting doesn't just sharpen the mind, it rewires it for longevity. In fact, long-term intermittent fasting has been linked in Harvard studies to increased mitochondrial efficiency and reduced cognitive decline with age. And the emotional transformation? It's profound. After 12 months, food no longer controls your schedule or your mood. You've built what I call metabolic freedom, the ability to choose when to eat rather than obey the constant tug of hunger. You can burn fat when you need it and enjoy a meal without guilt or crash. Your relationship with food shifts from dependency to partnership. You start seeing food not as a comfort, but as fuel. The first thing most people say to me at this point is, "Doctor, I feel young again." Not lighter, younger. Their energy in the morning feels effortless. Their sleep deeper. Even lab work shows age reversal markers, lower fasting glucose, lower triglycerides, higher HDL. But beyond numbers, there's a quiet confidence that grows when you realize your body still listens, still adapts, still heals. That's what makes this milestone special. It's not just longevity, it's sovereignty. You're back in charge. When I look at patients who have crossed that 365-day line, I see more than progress. I see proof that biology rewards consistency. A year of fasting 16 hours a day isn't deprivation, it's communication. It's your body saying thank you for giving me time to remember what health feels like, because the truth is fasting isn't about what you skip, it's about what you gain. And what you gain after a year isn't just a stronger body, it's a younger life waiting to be lived again. After guiding thousands of patients through this journey, I've learned one simple truth. Your body never forgets how to heal, it only waits for you to give it time. Fasting isn't punishment, it's permission. Permission for your organs to rest, your hormones to balance, and your energy to rise again. Whether you're 30 days in or a full year committed, remember that every hour you fast is an hour your body spends repairing the damaged years of stress and overconsumption left behind. If you're beginning this path, start gently. Stay hydrated, focus on whole foods during your eating window, and don't chase perfection, chase consistency. Small steady choices will outlast any burst of motivation. And if you ever feel discouraged, remind yourself healing doesn't happen overnight, it happens hour by hour, cell by cell. I share this not as a lecture, but as a reminder that your body is still on your side. So give it that chance. If today's message resonated with you, save this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to this channel. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss the latest medical insights and practical steps to protect your health for the body you have now and the years still waiting for you.